our Democratic colleagues were bragging about the fact that they passed a bill called the Pay-Go bill. The Pay-Go bill is supposed to require that if we're going to spend money, that we find an offset in the form of a spending deduction or a revenue enhancement that covers the cost of that new spending. We predicted that as soon as we passed the Pay-Go legislation, our Democratic colleagues would come to the floor and seek to have their next legislation exempted from it. And sure enough, that's exactly what was done. Both the matter that Senator Bunning has objected to and the bill that we're on right now have to be exempted from the Pay-Go requirements and therefore add to the federal deficit, in this case, $104 billion. Now, some of these provisions are useful provisions, but the truth of the matter is you can't, on the one hand, say that everything we do around here has to be offset with spending cuts or tax increases, and then waive the Pay-Go legislation every time you want to do it. As it turns out so far, every time we've considered legislation. In fact, I'll just read how it starts off. Senate Democrats in recent weeks have repeatedly used unanimous consent agreement requests to rack up talking points against Senate Republicans, a tactic that GOP aides said the majority is using deceptively to blame Republicans rather than internal disputes for stalled legislation. Quote, Senate leaders have long used the tactic of asking for unanimous consent to pass legislation they know will draw an objection from the minority, then blasting the objectors for obstruction. Mr. President, I fear that's what we're seeing here.